I bet you didn't know that in the early part of the 19th century, carriages, which were ordinarily pulled, of course, by horses before the invention of the motor car, and just after the invention of the steam train, some carriages were actually pulled by kites. Yes, kites. And I'm going to introduce you to Malcolm Goodman, known as the Kite Man. He owns the biggest collection of kites in the Western world. He's going to tell you the story about carriages pulled by kites. It can't be true, Malcolm. It can't be true.
Yes, it was a long time ago, but in 1826, a man called George Pocock, who was a school teacher and lived near York, he built a carriage which would carry 4 to 5 people, and it was controlled by kites, or he could control the kites, and he had a service between London and Bristol carrying passengers. He always passed the normal carriage with horses.
You're not saying he was quicker than the horses?
He was, yes, he was. But when he came to a toll road, well, there's the gate for the toll lady, she had a price list down there, 1 horse, 2 horse, 3 horse. She had nothing for kites, so she had to let him go through each time he went.
So he got a free pass?
Yeah.
I mean, surely that must have been very dangerous.
There's no accounts of any dangers at all. He travelled hundreds of miles.
I can't
from
believe
various
it.
parts of England, but that was, and he used to take W.C. Grace, the very famous cricketer, was one of his most used the carriage a lot.
I can't believe it. I mean, I recently published a book on Georgian life, and so this just falls in to the late Georgian period, and I had never heard of this system. Why didn't it continue?
I'm not really sure, really. It's obviously, when was the train invented?
1825, the very first.
So maybe the railway started taking over, of course. Yes.
So he probably invented it just a little bit too late. Had he invented it in the late 18th century, he might have had a different outcome. That is incredible. Well, viewers, let me know, have you ever heard of such a thing?